What's up, guys? Welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and welcome to my video guide for the Caius event. And of course, this is going to be in the Chaos fight. And before we begin, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my channel, guys, and it helps my channel to grow. And of course, I do really appreciate all the support that you guys give me. So without further ado, let's start this video with the abilities, weaknesses, resistances, and the elements that the boss can absorb. And this time it's going to be the metal drum. Now the metal drum does have a weakness to the wind element, and it does have a double resistance to physical range attacks. So poor Arnea is not going to be pretty useful in this particular fight. But let's take a look at its abilities. First, it has its normal brave attack, which is a melee brave attack, lunge, which is its melee HP attack, fire, which is its fire magic brave attack, boulders, which is an earth range brave attack. This also has a higher turn rate when inflicting a break or attacking a target that's afflicted with break. Wallop, which is a group melee brave attack. This also increases its brave. And then we got shoulder thrust, which is a melee brave attack, which also inflicts a attack down debuff. This also has a higher turn rate when inflicting break or attacking a target that is already broken. Next up is Metal Quake, which it increases its brave when its brave is less than its initial brave, and will do a group magic brave attack plus HP attack. Next up is Goken, which basically recovers itself from the break status and will do a melee brave attack plus HP attack, which also grants itself a brave barrier to itself. Next up, we've got Tekkaiken, which basically is a melee brave attack, but this also increases its brave when inflicting a break. Next is Jisaisho, which is a melee brave attack, which also grants itself an iron cluster buff to itself. Next, a couple of techs that you will see considerably worked up, which basically raises its attack, speed, and initial brave. Intimidating this way, which basically raises all its stats, and of course further intimidating this way, which further raises its stats. Finally, it is immune to a couple of debuffs, primarily sap and the poison debuff. Alright guys, so now I think we can move on to the general tips and guides. The first one here is going to be to save about 70 to 80% of your abilities for the final wave. The first wave is actually pretty easy and pretty straightforward. You will be able to save a lot of your abilities, use your HP attack plus or plus plus on the first wave, and save as much as you can because you're gonna need it. Next is to bring in the boosted characters. In this case, it's going to be Caius, Lise, Noel, and Porum. And if you don't have any of these characters, of course there are other characters you can consider like Galuf, Kryl, General Leo, Ultimecia, Edge, Yuri, Tifa, Beatrix, Vayne, Zack, Bartz, Ash, Lightning, Shadow, Vaughn, Sephiroth, Golbez, Emperor, Gilgamesh, or Jet. Now as for the Healers Plus Brave Battery, I mean, we've got a lot of options right now. Selphie, Rem, Eiko, Ignis, Rosa, Penelo, and now Hope as well, and of course Ishtola is still pretty good. Now as for your summon, you can opt out to bring Pandemonium since the boss is weak to the wind element, or you can just bring anyone you want. Like I said, I'm a little bit biased. I like Shiva the best. Okay guys, now I think we can move on to the general strategies that I use and help me to beat this fight, and hopefully it'll help you out as well. The first one is going to be for your friend support. It's going to be bring Setzer or Leo for your friend support. Don't follow the video in terms of the friend support. It was my mistake to bring Arnea in this fight. This was my blind run, and I didn't know it had double resistance to physical range. So in any case, it still worked out for me, but I mean, it is suboptimal. Next up is going to be to still rely on your delays, your paralysis, and your freezes. They're still going to be really useful in this particular fight since the boss can't actually resist delay or paralysis or even the freeze debuff. The next one is going to be to use gravity-based attacks. This will help you reduce the enemy's brave even with their shields up. Now during the chaos difficulty fight, their Goken basically will you will not be able to remove that shield no matter what. It will keep, like, the brave damage will keep being 0, I should say. That's the word I'm looking for, or the phrase I'm looking for. So it's best to use your gravity-based attacks, like using Barts or using, to a certain extent, Gilgamesh is going to be pretty useful on this one with his gravity-based attacks as well. And of course, Ultimisia, which is probably one of the most popular characters with gravity-based attack. And of course, we recently got X-Death as well, which I actually forgot to put on the list, but X-Death is going to be pretty useful with his gravity-based attacks. Now, for the next one is going to be, of course, to bring a healer. Now, the healer is here basically to heal you through some of the AoE HP damage that you're going to be taking. Unfortunately, it's very hard not to get hit by the AoE HP damage, especially if the boss is basically immune to any brave damage, or to, you know, basically to break it. You can still delay it, but they do have a lot of HP, and having a healer here is definitely going to help. Now the next one, of course, as you guys can guess, is to bring attack. Now, basically to soak up a lot of the brave damage, and of course the HP damage. If you can bring Warrior of Light, which has shields, definitely gonna help you out to reduce the incoming HP, total HP damage to the entire party. Or if you have Bosch, basically he can take all the HP damage. And of course, Galuf works really well in this particular fight with his cover and of course counter as well. Alright guys, now we can move on to the possible party compositions for this particular fight. And the first one is going to be the boosted team, consisting of Caius, Elise, or Porum. Now I listed all 4 of them here, but obviously you can only bring 3. I would honestly put Caius and Porum in your party composition when you're trying to go for a boosted team. Noel and Lise can be interchanged. I would personally pick Noel more because of the extra delay that he brings in the table. Lise is still going to be pretty good as well with her support. Basically, she is a good brave battery in this particular fight. So I guess it's just going to come down to whether you like more brave battery or you would like some delay as well. This is going to be with a General Leo support and Shiva for the summon. And like I said, Caius is here more for the debuffs. And of course he has that small delay with his Doom debuff as well. Noel again for delay, Lise for the small support and damage, and Porum for the healing. The next team I have is what you guys are seeing right here, with Lightning, Galuf, and Selfie with a General Leo support, should be General Leo support, and Shiva for the summon. Lightning is here for the single target damage and delays, Galuf to cover, and Selfie for buffs and heals. Now the next team I have for you guys here is going to be a whopping turn shenanigan team, the ultimate turn saving team, which consists of Ultimisia, Hope, and Vayne. This is going to be a Leo support and Shiva for the summon. Ultimisia and Vayne are here for the turn shenanigans and of course saving you a lot of turn counts. Hope for the buffs and small heals if needed. Now for the final one, lest we forget, just delay. This time you gotta take out Arnea. Unfortunately, Arnea is not going to be very useful in this fight. Vayne, Lightning, and Stola with the General Leo support. And of course, you can interchange with, I guess, Lightning, or you like General Leo more, or if you don't really want a healer, you can insert General Leo there. He's a brave battery as well, so you won't have to worry too much about not capping with your attacks. So to a small extent, he can HP heal as well with his HP regen, so you can definitely switch out Ishtola if you prefer General Leo, a more offensive character. Alright guys, so we're finally at the end of this video, and of course I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this fight. Now, honestly, I feel like this fight is like very dangerous, especially if you don't have a tank in your particular team composition. Of course, it's very possible to do this without a tank. However, it's just a lot safer with one in your team. Galuf, and like I said, if you have like to a small extent Zac or Warrior of Light, and you can have Bosch as well, just makes things a lot easier and a lot safer. Now obviously if you don't have a tank, you do have to be really careful when it comes to the enemy bosses having their shields up. When their shields up, like I said, you cannot break them. Basically they are there, so try not to get broken with that particular enemy, because once you get broken with that, and they have a huge amount of brave when they do their all attacks, or they can even do single target HP attacks, it's gonna be very dangerous for your team. So try your best to pay attention to who it's targeting and whoever the boss that has that shield. So yeah, that's my biggest take on this one, and I think if you play it real safe, you should be fine if you don't have a tank. But if you don't pay attention and let that run rampant, it is going to hit you with a big HP damage, either AoE or will one-shot one of your party, team, I should say, one of your characters. So the best way to deal with that is, again, gravity based attacks, or just keep delaying as much as you can. So overall, I would say this is in the medium to high difficulty, depending on how you want to deal with this particular boss or particular fight. If you have a lot of options, and if you can keep delaying the enemies so they don't use Goken, then you should be fine with turn shenanigans as well. And of course, if you have some sort of poison / sap unique frame debuff, like say for Sarah or Ultimisia, like I said earlier, is pretty good in this fight, then you know it can reduce the amount of brave that the enemy has if you don't have any gravity based attacks. Anyway guys, I think I'll end the video right here. Please do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my channel, guys, and if you hit that bell button, you won't miss out on my videos as well. And I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me, and of course make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook as well. And leave down in the comments below which team you used for this particular fight and how did you fare. Did you think this was difficult or more of the easy side? Let me know down in the comments below. This is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next level.